Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video I will create an expert advisor based on these two price patterns that I've prepared on my screen. Okay, so first let's talk about these patterns, and then I will go to my MT5 and MT5 IDE, and I will create an expert advisor that will be able to detect these patterns and open positions based on them. Okay, so we have two of them. So the first one is for the bullish trend, and the second, or bullish signal, and the second one is for the bearish signal. Okay, so this means buy positions, this means sell positions. So the idea is pretty simple. I have prepared these lines, yeah. So it will consist of 3 zigzag legs, basically, yeah. So from point 1 to 2 is first leg, point 2 to 3 is second leg, and leg from 3 to 4 is the third leg. And the idea is that the price goes from the fourth point to the third, okay? Then basically the second leg goes above the third leg, okay? So from 3 to 2, okay? So it basically breaks this high, and then it returns to that previous high, but from the opposite direction. Yeah, so it basically retests the level. So that's from 2 to 1. And then the idea is that we will wait for the price to go above this second level, okay, so this second point, and when it does, we will open a position exactly at this level right here. So let me just change the color, something like this should be okay. I think we can do this, and let's just do one. Okay, so now it's probably not visible at all, so sorry. Let's do it again, but I guess like you understand the idea. Okay, so it's classic price pattern, so let's do it like this. And for the sell side is the same thing, so we go from 4 to 3, 3 to 2, 2 to 1, and then basically here we retest the previous low, which is right here, and then we wait for the price to go below the second point, and we open a sell position, hoping that the price will continue to fall. Okay, so I hope I have explained the idea clearly. If not, I am sorry, and just keep watching the video. It's nothing too difficult to do, so I'm sure that everything will be clear. Okay, so let's continue. So this is my MT5. Okay, I'll just close these, and I will also just open my navigator here. So yeah, so this is my MT5, and I will open my MT5 IDE, and I will get to the coding part. Perfect. So yeah, okay, so I will open my experts folder first of all. Inside this experts folder I have my YouTube folder, and I will create a new file, and let's call this B and R. So basically yeah, I think break and a retest. Okay, so this is what this stands for, and let's just call it EA right here. Click on next, and finish. Okay, so first of all let me just zoom in, and this should be okay. Perfect. Okay, so I will delete these comments because we don't need them. Okay, so what are we going to need, okay, in order to detect this price pattern? So there are obviously multiple ways how to do this, but I guess the simplest way is just to use the zigzag indicator. So when I show you on my chart, basically, yeah, what we will be doing is that I will just add the zigzag. Okay, so this is the zigzag. It basically shows you the legs, okay, and let me just find one example of the pattern that you'll be looking for. And is this it? Yeah, this is it. Okay, so for example, this is what we will be looking for. Okay, so when I highlight this, okay, so let me just highlight the zone. Okay, so I don't use this that often, so let me just highlight this. So this is basically what we are looking for. Okay, so let's go back a little and let's just change the visualization to this. Okay, so now it should be visible. Okay, so this is what we are looking for. So in this example, we go from here to here, then we basically do this price swing, then we go back to this price level. So you can see that this level and this level, they are basically at the same level, not exactly the same level, but yeah, almost at the same level. So that's good enough for us. And then the price continues to fall. In this case, we would not open a sell position because, as I said before, we would wait for the price to go below this point right here, which it didn't. But it's just a nice example of basically what we are looking for. And for this we will use this zigzag indicator, which will basically allow us to get the highs and lows, and it will make our work much simpler. Okay, so for this we will need to... Okay, so now it will be a challenge, because I have not work with zigzag in long time, so I'm not 100% sure if it's like a resource or include, but I guess it's a resource. So let's just try this way, and if it doesn't work I will change it later. Well, so obviously it's under indicators, and then I think it's under examples, and then it should be just zigzag.ex5. So let's just try to compile this, and we are not receiving any errors, so this should be the way. So then let's create zigzag handle. Okay, so that's pretty self-explanatory. And then let's move on in any function, and let's just assign the iCustom. Okay, sorry, I can't type, to that zigzag handle. So period current, and now this is going to be the main part. So indicators /examples /zigzag.x5. okay, and now let's create also input parameters that go inside the zigzag indicator. So input integer, it's depth, then it's deviation, and then it's backstep. I guess. I think these are the correct inputs, but let's see. Okay, so deviation and then backstep. Okay, so let's test this out. I will execute this EA in the tester just to see if I didn't do anything incorrectly. So B and R EA. Okay, so this looks nice. Okay, so now we have zigzag in our expert advisor, so this is good. So now we can continue working. So of course now we have to get the zigzag values. So I have done this function multiple times in my other videos, so I hope you have seen those videos, because I won't explain it in depth in here. Okay, so let's create function. So get zigzag values. Okay, so now we need double zigzag array, and we also need to specify integer zigzag values to collect. So this is basically how many values we need from the zigzag indicator. And in our case it's not 3, so let's just go back and let's check how many values are we going to need. So first, second, third and fourth. Okay, so 4 values. So let's assign this value of 4, and then let's go back on an init function. Let's do array size zigzag array to the new site. So this is zigzag values to collect with reserve size of 0. Perfect. So let's go here and let's create firstly the I variable, which will be used for iteration, which will initially be set to 1, and then integer called found, which will basically keep track of the number of zigzag values we have already found in our while loop. And the while loop is right here. So while found is lower, so I'll just move my keyboard here, is lower than zigzag values to collect, then we will keep collecting. Okay, so let's also create a double zigzag temporary array. Okay, so this array will be for storing the temporary or the temporary zigzag value. So let's declare it here and let's do copy buffer. Indicator handle is zigzag handle, buffer number is 0, starting position is I, count is 1, and we will store this one value, not 3 values, one value into the zigzag temporary array. So now we check. So if zigzag temporary array at position 0 is not equal to 0, therefore there is a zigzag value, okay, then what we will do is that we will say zigzag array at position found is equal to zigzag temporary array at position 0. So now we basically take this zigzag value and we store it into our permanent zigzag array. Yeah, so I hope this is also clear. And then what we do is that we just increase the found by 1 because we have found a value, and we will also increase the I. So this should do the trick. So let's just go here and let's call this the get zigzag values. And since we don't need to check the zigzag values on every new tick, first of all, it doesn't make sense because it gets updated on the new bar, let's say, and also it would be pretty taxing for the EA to execute this while loop on every tick. What I will do is that I will execute this only once per new bar. So let's do static integer last bar is equal to 0, integer bars is equal to I.bars for the current symbol, current period, and then we do our classic if last bar is not equal to bars, therefore we have not executed the inside of this function on this current bar, then we will do so, and we will also update the last bar to the bars variable. Perfect. And what we can also do is that we can comment out the zigzag array at position 0 plus zigzag array at position 1 plus zigzag array position 2 plus zigzag array at position 3. Okay, so this is just like for us to check whether we are dealing with the right values or not, and here I just missed this plus sign. Okay, so let's check it out. So now I know it's probably not visible on your screen, but here in the upper left corner we have the values. So the first value is 1.270891. So let's check it. 891, so it will be this one. 603, okay, so this is correct. 891, okay, so what we also don't want to do, basically we don't want to work with this value, okay, so we want to get the we want to start from this value, okay, because these values will change. So we want to work with values that are already set, okay, so they can't be changed anymore. The most recent value can be changed, so we will exclude this one and we will start from this value. So this is 128602, this is correct. Then we have 128483, this is correct as well, and 28641, this is correct as well. Perfect. So what I will do now is that I will just simply increase the values to collect by 1. Okay, so now we have 5 values to collect here, yeah, and then I will just remove the first value. So it's zigzag array position 0 1. So now this should solve the issue. So let's just test this. Okay, and it seems like, yeah, so we have an array out of range at 45. Yeah. Okay, so we won't do this because basically then we reshape the size of the array, and reshaping the size of the array, like, we can do it, but it's not that efficient. Okay, so I'll just plug this in here, and now we can see that we start with value 1.2778, which is this value, and then we have 1.28124, which is this value. Okay, so now the order of values is correct. So finally we can move to the main part. Okay, so now the main part is to detect these patterns. So we will start with the bullish pattern. So I will let's create a boolean function, because it will return true or false based on whether we found the price pattern or not. So let's say bullish pattern, and it won't require any positional arguments, because the only thing we need are the zigzag arrays, zigzag values that are on global scope, therefore we can access them from this function right here. Okay, so just to make this very clear, clean and simple, I will create variables for each of these points. Okay, so let's say double point 1, which will be equal to zigzag array at position 0. Okay, so 2, 3 and 4, so point 2, point 3 and point 4, and here just change the index like this. Yeah, and also let's create boolean variable called found, which is equal to false by default, and at the end of the function we will return the found variable. Perfect. So now like there will be one thing that we will have to discuss and basically find a way how to deal with, and that is the price deviation between 1 and 4. Okay, so we basically know that the price levels here and here should be almost the same. Okay, they won't be exactly the same, so we basically need to come up with some type of threshold, okay, which will basically tell us the maximum allowed distance between these 2 points. Okay, so it won't be difficult. I'm just saying this before we get to it. Okay, so first of all, let's make a first if-else statement, and if this first if statement, we will check the order of these points. So basically what we want to see is that the fourth point is higher than the third point, and the second point is higher than the fourth point, and the first point is almost the same as the fourth point. Okay, so let's do this as the first step. So if now point 4 is higher than point 3 and point 2 is higher than point 4 and point 1. For now, let's just do is higher than point 3. Okay, so if this is true, then basically we have this pattern. Okay, one more thing we will have to deal with is with the ratios. Okay, so now we said basically that the second point has to be above the fourth point, but that can mean that the second point can be somewhere in here. Okay, and in that case this pattern would not be valid. So we have to check the ratios as well and come up with some formula which will basically detect the patterns that will look something like this. But this is the first step. Okay, so now let's create double deviation points. Okay, so these deviation points will be basically used for that distance between the fourth and the first point, and this will be set initially, I don't know, let's do 50 points. Let's try 50 and we can change it later. So this is our first if statement. So now let's check the distance. So if now I use the absolute value, okay, so 0.4 minus 0.1 divided by the point is lower than the deviation points, then we will say that these 2 points are close to each other, so we can continue. Okay, so this is our second step, and the first step is going to be in the first step we will check the ratios. Okay, so what we will do now is that we have to check, we basically, if you think about it, we have to check the distance from point 2 to point 3 and compare it with the distance from point 4 to point 3. And I think we can say that that this distance has to be 2 times or at least 2 times this distance. Okay, so let's do it. So if 0.4 to 0.3, so this is basically our distance for this leg, times 2 is lower than 0.2 to 0.3, yeah, then ratio is correct, and we can assign found to true. Okay, so this should be nice. So if this is true, that means that we have found this pattern and we are somewhere in here. Okay, so we will be somewhere in here. So what to do now? So now we want to open a position. Yeah, so for this we will use the buy stop order. Okay, so yeah, sorry. So now sorry, I just had a text here. What were I saying? Yeah, buy stop. Okay, so we will place a buy stop at this peak right here, and then we will just wait for the price to either go above it or not. Okay, so pretty simple. So we will yeah, so for this we have to import some more things. So I will include the trade/trade.mqh. I will create instance of this called trade, and I guess we are good to go here. So right here I will do trade buy stop. Okay, come on, trade buy stop. Volume, let's not worry about the volume for now. Price is going to be 0.2. Symbol is going to be current symbol. Stop loss. Okay, so let's discuss the stop loss. Well, if you look at it, the first stop loss can be at 0.1. The second stop loss can be at 0.3. Okay, so you have basically two options here. I think we will put it down here just to leave a bit more space for the trade. And we will see how it goes. If it doesn't work, I will place it here at level 1. So stop loss is 0.3, and now take profit. So we will do 0.2 plus the 0.4 minus 0.3. Okay, so for the take profit, what we will do is that we will basically take this distance and we will add it to this point. Okay, so now, for example, if this is 100 points, then our take profit is 100 points somewhere up here. So that's that. So now expiry date. So let's say specified, and for now let's just do time current plus I don't know, 5 hours. We can do 5 hours, and this is going to be null. Perfect. So now, because we are opening that buy stop order at this point, we don't have to return any value because it doesn't have, or we won't use it in any way. Okay, so I think I can delete this, I can delete this, I can delete this, and I can change the type to void. So let's test this. So I'll go here. Yeah, and also one more thing. We have to make sure that we open only one position per every pattern. Okay, so what we don't want to do is that we don't want to open multiple positions for this one pattern. So we will do something like static double last second point equals to 0, and if let's say if last second point is yeah, let's do zigzag array at position 1, then we will return. And here I will update the last second point to 0.2. Perfect. So now this should be okay. So let's go back here and let's do bullish pattern. Okay, so let's test this out. So this will be pretty interesting to see. Okay, so have we done anything so far? Okay, so perfect, it doesn't work. So yeah, it does. Okay, sorry, there was one operation here. You can see this buy which expired. So it seems like you can see that there are sometimes yeah, so it works. There are some issues because it doesn't open any positions, which is not nice, but we can deal with it. Okay, so I'll just wait for this to finish, otherwise my MT5 will stuck, and that would not be ideal. Okay, so let's go back and let's just hope that this will unstuck. Hopefully. Okay, so we saw that there were some pending positions, but they did not get triggered. So what this means is that we can increase the expiry time to something like, let's go 15 hours. Yeah, let's do 15 hours. And let's also increase this deviation points. Okay, so let's do 300. This might be too much. Okay, so this is just perfect. Now it got stuck, and yeah, now it got unstuck. Okay, so let's try this second time. Why do I get an error? What is, yeah, there is error in here. Plus this thing. Okay, so now it should be okay. So let's try this one more time. And now we see, yeah, now we should see more positions, which we do. Okay, so let's look at this buy position and let's check if this is the correct signal, basically. Okay, so let me just zoom in a bit more. So we start here, we go down, up, and here. Okay, so this is the signal we are waiting for. Now let's check the distance. So we take this distance to this distance. This is 141 points, which is okay. So our threshold is 300 points, so this is fine. And then we wait for the price to go above this level and we open position. So yeah, this seems pretty solid. And the same for these signals. Okay, so for this one, I think we go from here to here, here to here, here to here. Okay, so I don't like this. Like, I'm not. Okay, so I like this entry because this is precise, but with these entries it's not that precise. So so basically what happens here is that for some reason, okay, let's move on, and then I will come back and I will test it. Like, you can see that all of these went pretty nicely. Yeah, so let's analyze this position right here. Okay, so I guess this is the yeah, I think a part of the code doesn't work, and it's this part. No, it's yeah, this is pretty stupid. No, it should work. Yeah, so I just, yeah. Okay, so now it got stuck once again. Oh my god, sorry for this. Let's just wait a second, and I'll just respond to my text. And let's just hope it will. Okay, so it seems like it just got stuck once again. Sorry. Okay, so okay, so I will stop it here. I will just restart my MT5, and then I will continue. So see you in a bit. Okay, so I'm back. Yeah, so I just reopened the MT5, and let's continue. Yeah, so the last thing we did, okay, so it also closed my ID. Okay, so the last thing we did is that I just add these brackets right here to make sure that the calculation is correct. Okay, so let's check it now. Maybe that okay, so yeah, this is okay. This is also, if we look at this is also okay. So we go here, 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 and open buy position. So this is also okay. yeah, so this looks okay. So if we check these entries, they are according to the to the to the price pattern, so they are okay. So yeah, I like this. So for example, in this case, you can see goes down, above, down. We open buy position here, and then yeah, it hits stop loss, but the entry is correct. Perfect. So I'm happy with this. Now I will add the same function but for the sell side, okay? So this was for the upside or for the buy positions. Now let's add this for the sell position. So it will be pretty simple. We will just change a few things and that will be it. Okay, so for the order, yeah, it will be below. This will be also below and this will be also below. So this is okay. So now we want to check the distance from 4 to 1. So this is also okay because we are calculating the absolute value, so this is okay as well. So now 0.4 to 3, so we should change this from 0.3 to 4 times 2 is below or is lower value than the distance between 0.3 to 0.2. So how is it? 4, 3, 2. Okay, so this should be also okay. So now we'll just do the sell stop. We will place the sell stop at 0.2. This is okay. So this was stop loss 0.3, which is also okay. 0.2 minus 0.3 minus 0.4. So this should be also okay, and all of these things are okay as well. So yeah, so it's this simple to just change this pattern so it works for the sell side. So let's just call this bearish pattern function, and we should now open positions in both directions. So let's check it. Okay, so this is our first sell position, so let's check it. So this is our first leg, second leg, third leg, and we open here, which is correct. So I'm happy with this. So then there are these buy positions. And here sell position, I guess. Is it sell position? Yeah, this is sell position. So let's check it once again. So from here to here we check here and sell position at here. Okay, so this seems really solid, which I am really happy about. So let's go back and let's test this. Okay, let me just check how long. 40 minutes. So yeah, so let's do a simple backtest here, and we can try to optimize some parameters, but we won't go into the depth of backtesting here and optimization. Yeah, so let's just backtest this on the last 4 years. Well, to be honest, this doesn't look bad. Okay, for an EA without any optimization done to it, this seems pretty solid, and I guess that with some optimization this can be pretty nice, nice concept. Yeah, you can see for Euro USD Yen without any optimization as well, it doesn't perform that bad. For Euro USD it also performs pretty well. Okay, so this might be a like not first price pattern, but there are not too many price patterns that work pretty well without any optimization, but it seems like this can. So what I will do now, I will just, because I am curious about how to improve this, I will create a few inputs. So deviation should be equal to 150, and I am creating these values as inputs, so I am able to optimize them. Okay, and let's just try to optimize a few things here. So let's optimize the deviation starting from 25, step 25 to 400. Let's also check the depth. So depth 4, step 2, and go all the way to 80. Okay, so let's just check this simple optimization just to see if if it will improve the results in any way. And this seems pretty nice. Yeah, this is not bad. Of course, there's one downside to this that I'm seeing, and that is that the number of positions is just incredibly low. Or not for all of those, not for all of these settings. But as you can see, this is basically profit factor. For higher profit factor, we get fewer positions. Okay, so 127, which is nice profit factor, but it has only 187 positions over the last 4 years, which is not much. Here we have some higher number of positions, but the profit factor decreases. Okay, so the optimization is done. So let's try this test right here. So yeah, this looks nice. Okay, so obviously there are so many ways to improve this EA. You can come up with different ways of setting targets. Okay, so take profit stop losses. You can add volatility filters, time filters, day filters. You can add trailing stops, all of these things. And from what I've seen, like, this is not bad concept. This pattern looks to work pretty well, and maybe by decreasing the time frame to 5 minutes, like, of course you get more noise there, but also the number of positions increases. So while I will tell you something more about the EA, I will perform this one more optimization, which seems pretty nice. So yeah, so there are multiple ways how to improve something like this. I think I will try to improve this because I like this concept. So yeah, I would encourage you to do the same thing. What can be the biggest downside of this EA? Yeah, so you have to make sure, because with this version you are basically setting the stop losses at 0.3. Okay, so 0.3, it's like this point and this point. Okay, and for some cases the distance between these 2 points can be huge. Okay, so I would also add some filter, like to check the distance and add a setting for the maximum distance. And for example, if this distance from 3 to 2 is higher than the maximum distance, the EA will apply the maximum distance as the stop loss. Okay, so that's one thing. And here, let's stop this. It seems like on lower time frame it opens more positions and the profit factor still looks pretty nice. So this is pretty good. So let's just run one last back test to wait every tick based on the real ticks, because so far I have optimized on 1 minute HLC. So let's just check if the results will match the 1 minute HLC. So let's just wait. Does it match? Yeah, it does match. Okay, so this is really good. I like this. So yeah, I will end this video here. You do your own optimization and add some features to it. Anyway, thank you for your time and for your patience with me, because there were some issues while recording this. So yeah, thank you and have a nice day. Bye.